Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Not even supposed to be here today.
I'm just a fucked up girl who's looking for my own peace of mind.
Welcome to the party, pal.
I'll be back.
I'll have what she's having.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Here's looking at you, kid.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello, I'm your host Jim McLean. Welcome back to another episode of More Than Pixels on a Screen, a spoilerific movie review podcast brought to you by Banterflix. Cinematic discussion, dear listener, with a Northern Irish accent, so it is. Now for this recording, myself and my lovely co-host Adam Finkel is Einhorn Neeson.
Fuck Donald Trump. It's funny.
See, listen to the previous podcast. We are getting Super Bowl fever. Have you caught it, Adam?
I'm doing the shuffle. What can't remember what it's called.
I was going to say, if you caught it, I'm going to go down to the gum clinic, mate.
I don't know why I was like, don't know what it's called. It's called the Super Bowl Shuffle.
That's how much we love Super Bowl. So we are recording this episode before the big day. So go Sports.
Who's playing, Jim?
Two teams.
Is it the Kansas City Chiefs?
Possibly.
And let's say the Green Bay Packers.
Yes, and not the Miami Dolphins.
No, because they had their mascot stolen.
Yes. Ace Ventura's on the case.
Oh, what a man. He could do anything.
Some of this might come back in this podcast. But yes, we are talking about American football generally in movies. But I guess, Adam, are you a fan of American football?
No. Although I have been to
This is going to be a fun pod.
I've been to an American football game.
Oh, have you?
I went to Kansas City Chiefs game.
Go Chiefs!
And it's ridiculous because it was like first game of the season. Here's 4 stealth planes being the loudest thing you've ever heard flying overhead, while they spray the fucking red, white, and blue over the field, and then everybody stands and does the national anthem, and I was there being like, "What's happening?"
In your head, were you like, "America, fuck yeah"?
I was like, "These boys know how to do it." Like,
I've just noticed, Adam, you have a lovely tattoo.
Yeah.
I've never noticed before.
Of what?
It says, does it say loser? And then over it is his love?
Ah, it's from It.
There you go.
You like that?
I never noticed before.
Jim just likes to look at my body because I'm naked the whole time. That's why you haven't noticed. You're distracted.
It's like, usually you do send me voice notes when you're in the bath. Haven't got one of those in a while.
Haven't had a bath in a while. Stank.
You fucking smell it from here, listeners. So you have an advantage to me in the sense you've actually been to an American football match. Did you enjoy the experience?
That was terrible. I'll tell you what, because do you know when you watch it on TV and it cuts to commercial, like every play or whatever, whenever it cuts to commercial and you're there, the cheerleaders come out and then there's like wee games and they shoot like t-shirts into the crowd, and so
Ned Flanders' wife gets killed.
a penny. So I enjoyed seeing the stuff you would never see on TV of them and being like, fuck, we have to fluff this for 3 hours. Because you go see like a normal soccer game.
Soccer.
And it's like, if you're not back from the bogs by the time fucking half
Gonna miss it.
you're gonna miss it, man. Yeah. Whereas this is like, you can go take a shit anytime, you'll miss nothing.
That's maybe an advantage for some.
100%. Because also, don't know, they play it like in the bathrooms. So you're doing a big duty and they're like, is it a touchdown? You're like, fucking right.
Flush down, more like. I've never been to a game, although the opportunity, as we record, Adam, it's just been confirmed, I think later this year, that at Croke Park, it's going to host. Croke Park is going to host its first NFL game later this year.
Who's playing?
You're not going?
No, I've never
Two teams are playing, Adam.
Never been to Croke Park.
Have you not?
No.
Been to a couple of gigs. Went to see Garth Brooks there many years ago. Been to see U2 there a couple of times. And very excited, Adam. Although it's not Dublin, it's not Croke Park. Katy Perry is coming to Belfast again, so I might have to go see Katy Perry. If you can picture the scene, Adam, many, many years ago, my lovely wife, my current car, you've been in a couple of times, it's a bit bruised and battered now. It's getting on a wee bit. Even I've accepted that. But my car's named Katy, after Katy Perry, because I had a wee crush for a while. Now that she's been Orlando bloomed, not so fussed. But many years ago, when at the height of infatuation, when my wife had bought me a little Katy Perry pillow to sit in the back seat of the car, which is now sadly long gone. We went to see Katy when she was last in Belfast. Picture the scene, Adam. Many, many years ago. She got us VIP front row tickets. At one point it was muted. She's like, I've got you a meet and greet. And you're like, no, because I'll not even last. Oh, I'll not last. But let me paint you an audible picture, dear listener, of what happened when I went to see Katy Perry at the SSC or the Odyssey, whatever it was called then. Front row. Small child, small child, small child, small child. Jim, Amber, small child, small child, small. Mate, I have never had a better view of a concert. It was like 4 rows back. Just kids everywhere. And I'm going, I'm here for all the wrong reasons for Katy. So if you're listening, KP, I'm going to come at you like a firework. Or other such songs, because I'm done with it. Anyway, I don't know why I got distracted by that. But yes, we have caught Super Bowl fever. So before we go to the gum clinic and get ourselves tested, we'll talk a wee bit, but generally about some of the movies we've seen over the years that have featured American football. Now, Adam, I've tried to think outside the box, because of course the obvious ones are like Any Given Sunday. That speech. Let's play that speech by Pacino. Hoo-ha! In Any Given Sunday.
I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes till the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit kicked out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time.
So there you go. The difference, Adam, between inches, between what you want to do and where you want to get. Have you ever been, you've worked in retail, yeah? Mm-hmm. Have you ever had someone come down for like a big team huddle and team meeting working in retail and not use that speech to try and motivate you?
Weirdly, the speech that the Al Pacino speech that I usually got was when I worked in a Dunkin' Donuts, and he ordered a Dunkachino and said, "Don't mind if I do."
Well, there we go. I've tried to think outside the box, so I didn't go for Any Given Sunday. Regular listeners will know, I'm not sure if it was last year, it was the year before, the lovely Bill Taylor and I got together to talk about The Waterboy, which is probably the most American football-centric movie I can think of that I've actually enjoyed. And my hot take, I know Happy Gilmore 2's coming out later this year. It's the only Adam Sandler comedy of that period that I loved when I was younger, that I watch now when I'm older, and I'm still go, I can still tolerate this. Happy Gilmore, I go, you're a horrible person. And what's the other one? Not Little Nicky. I haven't watched Little Nicky for a while.
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison is the one I just fucking hate now.
I never liked
Back
it.
to school. Back to school.
I never understood.
Veronica Cornerstone, so hot. Want to touch the hiney.
So you do like it?
Yeah. I've watched it a few times. Shampoo is better. It goes on first. I used to love it when I was younger. A friend of mine, Tom, we used to just quote it like that endlessly. I rewatched it maybe about 5 years ago and went, oh. Do you know when that phase Sandler's still kind of in? When he's not doing fucking amazing stuff like in Uncut Gems. He's doing like, is it, what do you call Halloween? Dewey Halloween or something like
Hubie Halloween.
Yeah, he's doing the shit Netflix stuff that basically Netflix know people will watch it. So let's give him a blank check to do it. And hey, he brings his mates along, and for like grown-ups and grown-ups too. They're not for me.
What else is Shaq going to be at?
What else has he got to do? But Billy Madison, I went back and rewatched and didn't like. Big Daddy, I haven't rewatched in a while. Mm-hmm. I just know there was a TikTok meme going around. It's like, now that I'm a parent, there's only one scene from a movie that really speaks to me now, and I finally get it. And it's just Adam Sandler is going, "What? What do you want?" to the wee boy.
It is a movie I watched. I think I've probably watched the most because my brother really liked it. And we would quote Scooby Steve and Microsoft went down 3 points. But back in the day, watching it, do you know whenever those comedies take like a serious turn?
Yeah.
It's weird. There was a 90s era of like a comedy that at the end of it turns into a courtroom drama. I don't know why it always happened in the 90s. But I remember my brother, I think it's because it turned serious, my brother being like, that means it's a good film. You know, it has a wee bit of heart, so it means it's a good film.
So like stuff, maybe not comedy, but like Remember the Titans, which is a film I genuinely love. I haven't put it in my list on this because I genuinely love it. I think it's a great show. Again, to know that much about it, Denzel Washington's fab in it. When's he not fab? Even in Gladiator 2, he's still having the time of his life. But yeah, there is a film that kind of got its heart hits you in the feels, Adam.
It's
a somber one. You think about it afterwards when you're sitting in the bath.
What was Hurricane about? Was that a boxer?
That was the boxer.
I was getting confused with my Denzels.
That was the boxer. I remember watching that too, and that was a good show.
I remember being in school and a guy called Declan told me about it. He's like, "You'll like that because it's really serious." You know what? He's right. I did enjoy it.
Good show. Yeah, it's a good film. I haven't watched it in a long, long time. It's a long film, if I remember.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
I put it in the Denzel bracket of he got game.
Yeah, he got game indeed.
Sports movie that has a serious touch.
Yeah. So these are kind of films that are taken as a given for me, that are on the list of like good American football movies. Isn't there Friday Night Lights as well? Another given, right? Just that's it. I have tried to go ad hoc with my list. So it's 3 movies that feature American football. Might just be for a wee second. But it does feature American football. We haven't heard your list yet. I think yours is probably more American football focused than mine.
One features American football.
Yeah, prominently within the plot. But, of course, a big thing within Super Bowl Sunday is the trailers. It's like the big time for studios to get their trailers because they know it's going to be the biggest market of people watching. Is it like so many? Is it 50? No, it must be more than 50 million.
Yeah, sure. It's all of America.
All of America is watching, so they know that it is prime time. We will be assured, as we record right now, that one beloved 80s movie will either get a trailer sequel or someone will just pop up.
Oh, yeah. I think we've already seen When Harry Met Mayo.
Yes. Is that for Super Bowl, though, or is that just kind of like one of those shameless plugs?
I don't know, because it seems to be now that Super Bowl, the adverts sort of last a week and they put them up online before like they're actually in the Super Bowl. So the channel, I don't know,
wasn't there one a few years ago with Bruce Willis, kind of like a Die Hardy kind of thing?
Yeah, it was for tires.
Yes.
Because they always do those teases where it's like, because remember they were like, fucking Bruce Willis is back as John McClane.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like, no way. And then it was about tires. So I think they've got to the point now where people are fucking sick of.
Yeah.
Because do you remember the famous Matthew Broderick one? Where he was like back as Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Driving a car. And everybody was like, he shouldn't be advertising cars. Matthew, come on.
Google it. Google it and see why. Wasn't there one as well? Was that last year, the year before? There was like a fake Crocodile Dundee.
Danny McBride
and
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, I think it was Chris Hemsworth. Yeah. It wasn't the other Hemsworth that no one likes.
And it was just come to Australia.
Yeah. Good day, mate. That's not a knife. That's a knife.
That bloke's a Sheila.
Crocodile Dundee is aged rotten.
Like fine pish.
Like a good shite in the toilet and you haven't forgot to flush it. It's aged that well. When you walk back in, you're, what am I getting wafts off? Oh, cocaine references? Oh. Yes, but I still love one of the bad words said about Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee 2 has a funny moment in it when it's probably a bit racist, but it's racist towards white men, so that's why it's good. Right. When he beats up the guy in the subway station and puts a bin over his head, and then turns to two Japanese businessmen and is like, "All right, fellas," and then walks off, and then the two Japanese businessmen go, Clint Eastwood. That's pretty good.
I want to watch Crocodile Dundee 2 now, but I don't want to watch Crocodile Dundee 3.
No, it's atrocious.
Nobody wants to watch that.
No.
But hey, at least we got that trailer. So I'm sure there will be stuff like that. We have already, as we record, 2 big trailers released. 3?
Yeah, sort of.
Well, I'm going to say 2 big... We've had Fantastic Four, and we've had the new Jurassic Park movie, and I'm going to imagine you're putting the third one... Are you putting in Final Destination in there?
Yeah.
Okay, I wouldn't... I'm aware of its incoming release, but I'm not overly excited. As we record, as I keep saying, because we're recording before the big day, a lot of big muted talks online about various trailers. Might see more stings for Mission Impossible, the new Snow White movie, a few others off the top of my head. Thunderbolts. And the thing about it is, because these cost so much, you're probably talking maybe 30, 40 second stings. Superman, we're going to see another bit of a teaser for Superman at the, I think it's the Pup Bowl?
The Puppy Bowl, yeah.
Puppy Bowl, which I would love to go see.
Which I'd imagine is just a crypto-based trailer, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
I'm sat here with my Superman t-shirt on.
Yeah. We have said in the previous pod how excited we are about the new Superman movie. It's getting some hate online. People not being happy about all David Cornsweet, his face when he's flying. You're like, fuck off, lads.
It's because
it's not Schneider and because it's not Henry Cavill. That's why.
Henry Cavill didn't emote when he did anything. So people are like, that's what Superman's meant to be.
He's serious and all. He's stern. He doesn't know if he wants to be Superman. Fuck up.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, all right, kids. When fucking go into your online poll. But yes, so the big two have been Fantastic Four, Jurassic Park, Rebirth. Gareth Edwards is directing that. Off the 2, I think Jurassic Park's the one I'm most excited about, in the sense that I quite like some of the cast. I mean, I like Scarlett Johansson for various reasons, but I have confidence in Gareth Edwards. Although it does seem, which could be a good thing, it seems to have kind of, that film has been into existence. It's like, it's happening, it's been shot, it's going to be released. It seems like no time since that happened. So whether it's just like a perfect shoot in every way, or just kind of like generic, I don't know. But Gareth Edwards is someone who, from previous films, I think knows what he's doing with special effects. And he's had problematic shoots before, like Rogue One, where he was kind of taken off that project, ultimately didn't finish it. Pardon me. But I think there's a filmmaker there. You look at Monsters, who knows what he's doing with special effects, and also Godzilla as well. I think knows what he's doing, knows how to get heft into his work. Yeah, the plot sounds a bit generic. Is that a group of like a pharmaceutical company wants them to go off and get basically DNA from 3 of the largest dinosaurs?
They're remaking Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe they'll finally, somewhere on that island, find the proper ending to that movie.
Yeah, well, there's...
Did you go see that in the cinema?
I did, yes.
Do you remember like watching it? It's like, holy fuck, what is going to happen now? Oh, there's the army there. It's all done.
Yeah, that's a weird... I remember as a kid, I think I may have told this story before somewhere, going to the toilet during one of the bits, and I could hear the dinosaur like noises through the walls of the toilet.
Is this when you say dinosaur noises, do you mean... Funny
you say, it was the bit when... they're ringing Laura Dern and Barney the dinosaur is playing in the background. It was during that bit, but I remember the sound of the dinosaurs being so loud through the bathroom walls that I was like, "Fuck, they're in the movie house." Oh no! But Jurassic Park.
And you were
3,
working at that point.
This was last week. Jurassic Park 3, I have a soft spot for.
Is that purely for the fact? Let me just act out one sequence for you, and you'll know exactly what I'm saying about Alan.
Yeah,
Alan. That one sequence, and you can see do the way we talked in previous pod, you can see about with Michael Caine. He talks about the great. He's never watched Jaws or Revenge, but he's seen the house that it bought. You can see in every sequence with Sam Neill, it's like, I'm getting paid to do this, and not just in a kind of like this is a load of fun. It's like, I'm getting paid to do this. Alan,
and it's also got Tia Leone.
Yep,
Hot. Don't know about you, man, but her in
was she in Dharma and Greg? Or am I getting them confused?
She was in the first
Adam's
Bad
Wet
Boys.
Dreams.
She was in Bad Boys.
She was. She had a dog that shit everywhere.
Mike Larry. Hot. She's like a hot
Elizabeth Banks. Hello, Elizabeth Banks is hot.
Holly Hunter.
There's a reference.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She does it for me. And then William H. Macy.
Yes.
Great.
The shoveler himself.
Yeah.
We at some point have to talk about that movie.
Have you watched it recently?
Yes.
Did you enjoy it?
Yes.
It's a bit tough.
I still like it.
It's a bit tough.
I think it's because I have rose-tinted glasses for it. Just
Fair
for Mr. Furious.
We are talking about Mystery Man.
Yes.
Which does star Kel from Good Burger. Another.
Isn't he the Invisible Man? In that? Yeah.
Another movie that I heard through the walls of the cinema and went, they're going to get me the Good Burgers.
One screen is Jurassic Park 3, the other scene is Good Burgers. You don't know where to go.
What was I watching recently? Can't remember, but somebody, a celebrity, was like
Came into the house.
talking about Abe Vigoda?
Yeah, whatever you say.
From Goodfellas and Good Burger, and run up to him like behind the scenes in some TV show whenever he was a kid, and said, "Abe, I love you," and Good Burger. And Abe Vigoda was like, "These fucking kids, all they want to talk about is Good Burger." Rest in peace.
And that was you?
That was me. I think I like a bit with the secret sauce. Shaq's in it as well.
Yeah. We never give you your promise of a podcast about Good Burger or Good Burger 2.
That's because we watched Good Burger 2.
Yeah.
Fucking man, it doesn't matter.
Adam literally texts me going, don't worry about that. But let's talk about Mystery Men next week instead. But anyway, yes, so Jurassic Park Rebirth. We'll play a clip of the trailer?
Yeah.
We'll play a clip of the trailer. So there's a wee hint of the trailer for Jurassic Park Rebirth. I'm quite excited about this. I think it's just Jurassic Park will always have that nostalgia for me. And this looks more like what I wanted from when they rebooted it. It looks like they're not trying to make a fucking T-Rex fuck a Velociraptor.
Yeah.
It looks like they're getting back to basics. None of the Indominus Rex nonsense. Or was it what was the one in the second one? The Indominus Raptor or something?
Oh, yeah. Get up at doors.
Yeah. But as much as I do love that sequence in the house.
Oh, yeah.
In Dominion, is that one?
No, it's Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
I don't know. Jurassic Rebirth. I keep going to call it Afterbirth, but that's not what it's called.
Nope.
Rebirth. It looks fun. You do sort of be like, how many fucking times can they go back to this island? It's got monsters in it. There's a monster that looks like a big Rancor from Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that there's no real big stars in it apart from Scarlett Johansson. And then even then, it's sort of, she's a big star, but like, it doesn't seem that she's like the main character. Is it Jonathan Bailey?
Yeah.
It's the main guy with Mahershala Ali. Yeah, it just, I think if the other three Jurassic Worlds didn't come out and this was just the fourth, I think I'd be more excited for it. But the fact that I've had to sit through 3 Jurassic Worlds, that's just like, whoa, isn't Chris Pratt cool? Like, not really.
Well, he did give us Chris Pratting.
Oh, it does my head in. I watched them all over.
And hey, ladies can run in heels from T-Rexes.
Well, Jim, I think I've documented before, they cut down the size of her booty on the poster. So, you know, they're committing war crimes.
And that booty was in full show in, what was the one last year? Argyle?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Argyle. Listen back to the previous pod where Jim just comes across as a creep. I think if I recall, Adam, I struggled for the words. And I think you just kind of said, whispered in, you moved in closely to the microphone. And I think the phrase you might have said was referring to her derriere, juicy.
Here, you know what?
Not wrong.
It's probably the best thing Ron Howard's produced in a while.
Yeah.
A while. The moment's in their 40s. Here, with fair play. We're fucking big jersey ours. Do you want to watch over Christmas? I think I'm talking to you about, this is way off topic, but slightly on topic.
Yeah.
The Jim Henson documentary.
Yes, which is brilliant.
Really, really good.
Did you ever cry?
Not really. I didn't get the Superman one did, but the Jim Henson one didn't. But Jim Henson's early short film work, fuck me, it was like Jodorowsky, sort of like weird experimental shit. Imagine he went down that path instead of Muppets. Fucking wild.
Imagine he went down that path and then someone said, "Hello, can I introduce my friend David Lynch?"
What are all these puppets?
Eraserhead, but with Muppets.
Oh, you would have to do Beaker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somebody draw that.
Yeah, somebody do it. Make it happen.
Back to Rebirth. Jonathan Bailey looks like Milo from Atlantis. I don't know. It looks fun. They're taking the original bit from the first book with
yeah,
the water
big sequence with the T-Rex. Yeah,
cool. And Gareth Edwards, I just sort of trust. Like, I didn't really love the creator.
No,
but visually incredible.
Oh yeah, he, as I come back to that point, I'm repeating it nauseam. He knows what he's doing with special effects.
Yeah,
it comes back. I think he's a director who, over the years of working with either low budget or big budget practical and CGI, with big budget CGI effects, he will know whether it's worth having it in the film.
Yeah,
if it's, because you look at stuff, and I'm looking back, it's particularly Jurassic World Dominion. There are sequences in there, the CGI looks worse than the original.
Yeah.
There's a really bad sequence I remember with, is it Blue the raptor? Mm-hmm. Or even just raptors in it, and it just looks terrible.
Is that when Chris Pratt's on like the wee moped going through the...
It looks terrible.
Like shit.
But that's Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah.
We've got that to look forward to. As we say, a couple other trailers. Possibly we might get another look at Mission Impossible. As I've mentioned, Disney usually go big. The next Pixar movie, I think, is hinted to get a big trailer. But one that definitely has been released is the trailer for Fantastic Four. The First Steps, isn't that what it's called? Give it its full title. Let's play a little clip and then we'll have a chat.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
T-5. Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock. The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
So that's a little snippet from the trailer from Fantastic Four. You're the more comic book aficionado between the two of us. Excited? Is this enough for you to kind of get your Marvel back on?
Yes, sort of. Fantastic Four are some of my favourite characters in the Marvel universe.
Is that because of the first two movies?
Of course.
Jessica Alba?
Here.
Whoa, wait, wow. I actually have a confession to me. I did a woo-woo-wee-wah on air, on Q. Uh-huh. We were talking about the news and we were talking about beds and pillows. Uh-huh. And some guy actually messaged in, goes, well, I've got this new state-of-the-art bed and this, that and other, and doesn't need pillows for it and X, Y, Z. And also, it vibrates. And Connor and Amy were doing the breakfast show and read that out. And Jim, what do you think about that? And all I could say was, whoa. But yes, apologies. I digress. So, Jessica Alba. Whoa.
It looks good. I think aesthetically, based it back in the 60s was like the right choice.
So am I right? Right. You're gonna know all this. This is not set in the Marvel universe that we've known so far.
Yes. It's a different universe.
Yes.
For as far as we can tell, but if you're putting two to two together, you know, the Fantastic Four have never been mentioned. Obviously, they're so popular; they have their own toys and Halloween costumes of like the Thing, and nobody mentioned Galactus turning up.
Yeah.
So it has to be a different universe. The trailer shows Reed working on the bridge, which is a multiversal, bridge.
Thing.
It looks fun. Matt Shankman, who did WandaVision, seems to know what he's at. It's funny that he directed a lot of episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which you're like, but that's not a really, cinematic thing. But obviously, he knows how to work an ensemble together. It's probably the best Pedro Pascal has looked at a good touch. Not that Pedro Pascal has been floating since The Last of Us, but like, what really has he been in that's really impressed you that much? Gladiator 2, like he's sort of...
That Nick Cage movie he did, The Insufferable Weight of Talent. Is that what ours? It's a big, long, stupid, long title where Nick Cage plays Nick Cage.
That film only became popular after the fact.
That meme?
Yeah. And then Joseph Quinn, who I really liked in
Stranger Things,
but A Quiet Place last year. His wig looks atrocious, but I'm sure it'll be a fun. And then,
he's also good in Horde. If you haven't seen Horde,
yes, I still need to watch Horde.
Horde's a good watch from last year. I'd seen it the year before.
Vanessa Kirby, wow.
Whoa.
No, I do love Vanessa Kirby. I think she's one of the highlights of the later Mission Impossible movies. Yeah. And apparently she's going to be more sort of the central character of this whole film, which is good.
Well, I think that makes sense because to an extent, the first two Fantastic Four movies tried to do that.
Yeah.
Or had to have more of an emotional strand for her character. And also, I guess, the Thing as well.
Yeah.
And the relationship between Reed Richards and the Thing. I forget the name of the characters.
Ben Grimm.
Ben Grimm, there we go. The relation, that was kind of front and centre. The less said about the attempted reboot, the better.
Yeah.
It's a shit show. I remember going to see a press screening of that at the Dublin Road. And as I've mentioned before, anytime we went to those, R.I.P., you'd come out and the lovely Terry Kelly would be standing there going, well, Jim, what do you think? And sometimes I can go a big wafty, go, I really like this and that other about it. Or other times go, oh, there's things I liked, but I'm not quite certain about it. I literally just came up and said, Terry, that was shite. That was shite. And she's like, okay, I'll maybe not put that down on the notes. It was like, no, just give me the pen. Shite. Terrible movie. I know it had loads of issues behind the scenes with production, but it was shit.
It was just because do you remember they were like, we need to make this for contractual reasons?
Yes.
We'll lose the contract if we don't make a film. And it feels like that when your movies...
Was it Fox would lose all their Marvel properties or just Fantastic Four?
It was something to do with like Fantastic Four and like Daredevil at the time.
Yeah.
Do you remember? It was a weird contract reason. But when you start your movie with Homer Simpson, I remember like the movie, though it comes up like PBFC, rated 12A for pornographic images of the Thing stick. And it was like, hey there, Marge. Because he's like the school teacher at the start. I was like, okay, so it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
I thought, can't remember his full name now. It's going on my head. Billy Elliot is the Thing, was probably the best choice out of all lemons. Because Miles Teller was sleepwalking, Kate Mara was wearing a temple wig, and Michael B. Jordan was just misplaced.
Yeah.
And then who played Dr. Doom? Oh, your man, fucking Toby, Planet of the Apes. Koba, Planet of the Apes. But yeah, I don't know. It's like there's never been a good Fantastic Four film, and this.
I have a soft spot for the first two. They're not great.
No.
But I have a Foxtrot. I have a soft spot for them in the sense I watched them probably when I was about the right age for them. If I watch them now, I go, they are properly shit.
Yeah.
But I think I quite like all the cast
Yes.
in it, in the sense it was well cast. I like the guy that plays Doctor Doom, Nip Tuck guy.
Nip Tuck dude.
Yeah, that's how he'll always be known. And I think the first one's I've more fun with the first one. The second one, it's the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, you had Doug Jones and Lawrence Fishburne.
It's they're not amazing by any means, but it's around that time of like kind of the Spider-Man movies, etc., the X-Men movies, when I was probably at like kind of peak, other than maybe the Marvel Power Hour on TV and the Spider-Man comic. That was all really on Spider-Man cartoon, sorry, and the Spider-Man comic I would have read, and probably a bit of Batman, and I was more 2000 AD at that point. But yeah, I was probably at the time looking at them now, accept the shit. But have you? I watched it, and I'm still like, this is not enough for me to go fuck. MCU's back, baby. It just like it's not an origin story, which I'm glad of. I'm guessing they're going to have to, in typical Marvel way, will be like, we'll have to give you some kind of understanding of their origins and what's happened. They've kind of talked about it in the trailer, but I don't know. It just feels like I don't know. The fact that it looked, that's the thing that confuddled me. And it's confuddled me since the Fantastic Four kind of came about. It's like, how are you going to bring them in? Obviously, having a different universe makes sense. But it also then, in theory, gives them a whole other universe they can play with, I guess, for the X-Men as well. Whatever way they're going to do with that. I know we have a Wolverine in the MCU. We know there's going to be an X-Men movie. They haven't officially confirmed it, but they're like, here, we can't say anything until after Secret Wars. And you're like, all right, okay.
They're doing a, wouldn't she look good as Jean Grey?
Yeah.
And then they're testing the water. She does I'll fucking thing from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
She's read her. Sadie Sink.
Yeah.
And then, but see, when they do that, that annoys me because they'll be like, say, like, let's say, for instance, Millie Bobby Brown, right? They'll be like, she could be Kitty Pryde. And you're like, right, dead on. When's it going into production? 7 years' time. Right, Millie Bobby Brown will be 30. What are you doing? If you're gonna do it, just do it now. Stop. I don't know if it's a contractual thing or, you know, they're like, we have 3 more Shang-Chi movies to make before we make an X-Men movie. Just cut it the faff.
Yeah.
Give me.
I'd love a Shang-Chi. I'd love a Shang-Chi sequel. That's another easy thing to say.
How many shells would he Shang-Chi on the shore?
Let's not answer that. I know it's been rumoured, nothing in the trailer, didn't think there would be, that this is the first film you'll see Doctor Doom.
I reckon it'll have to be.
It's going to be a post-credit sting.
It has to be.
It's going to be a post-credit sting. There's still not enough there.
Were you not excited when John Malkovich turned up and you were like, fuck, your man from Johnny English?
There's the guy from being in John Malkovich.
He is being in John Malkovich.
Holy fuck, is that the whole MCU? It's inside John Malkovich's mind?
No, that would be good.
That would be Lynchian if they did that. Are you, like, I know I asked that question. Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks well cast. Visual effects look good. I think they've kind of got the thing done well. I don't know. There's just not enough there for me to go fuck. I can't wait to see that.
I think.
But here's another question. Two-part. If I'm honest, it's been a long time since I've kind of went fuck. Next MCU movie. Fuck, I can't wait. Like, I'm sitting here, we're recording, a week before the next Captain America movie's out. Oh, there's going to be a Red Hulk. It's going to be amazing. It's going to lead right into the next Avengers movie. What's going to happen? And I'm just like, all right. I'll probably watch it because I'm in this far.
I keep forgetting that it's coming out. You know what I mean?
I'm in this far. So what have we've got It, Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four this year.
Yeah. Plus the Spider-Man cartoon that's on Disney at the minute. And
which I've watched. I've watched the first episode. I think it's all right.
That's fine.
I like the kind of Steve Ditko kind of Spider-Man. But is it kind of a young Tom Holland animated, or is it Elseworld?
It's Elseworld.
Okay.
And then I think
so. You're probably going to imagine that maybe popping up in potentially the next Spider-Verse movie.
Yes. And then March, I think it is, Daredevil.
Yeah, and even that, I can't believe I'm sitting here as the person who has said in this podcast before and still hasn't watched the last episode of the supposed last ever episode of Daredevil, because it was like, then it's going to be over. Mm-hmm. It's going to be over. I'll not want to watch it. I'll not have any more Daredevil, even though we've had him pop up briefly in Spider-Man No Way Home and getting the arse rid off him and She-Hulk.
Fucking right.
And I quite like the gold Daredevil outfit in that.
Yeah.
I'm one of the people that did quite like She-Hulk.
Yeah.
For what it was and the fact that it understood actually was a TV show. In the same way WandaVision kind of did, in the sense that each week it borrowed another idea from a TV trope or TV from the period. It knew that it was episodic and a TV show, where now as... Well, probably Agatha, unsurprisingly, Agatha All Along, which I think is written by the same guy from WandaVision.
I don't know if it was written. I think... No, it was...
Directed.
No, it was Jack...
Napier.
Jack Napier took over. It was a lady took over.
Jack Palance.
I can't remember. It's J-A-C.
Okay.
Is her first name. S is her second name.
Okay. Agatha Holloway knew that it was a TV show.
Yeah.
Again, although it did feel at times like it just be a condensed... You could be condensed down to a movie. Like the last... Was it Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Mm-hmm. That was just like a, 7-hour movie?
Yeah, and it's funny that they're talking about like the new Captain America movie, and they're like, once this is finished, you'll believe Sam Wilson is Captain America. And you're like, but we did that. They did a whole TV show of that. Mm-hmm. And obviously they're like, no, nobody watched that, so I'm gonna have to do a film now.
What do you call the other guy that was briefly Patriot now? What's he called? The American? What's he called?
John Walker. Oh, U.S. agent.
U.S. agent. That's
who's in Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Thunderbolts, maybe I could be excited about just because Florence Pugh's there. But
and you've got a bit of David Harbour being silly Russian.
Yes. But there's none of there I'm kind of going like, I want to be there opening night. I want to be there. We've said it before. Superman, I want to be there the first screening I can possibly get to. It's like, I want to see that film. If I can get to see it in the IMAX screen, I'll pay the extra. Fantastic Four, Thunderbolts, Captain America... What's out in Valentine's Day? Maybe go see it the week after, unless we have to pod about it.
Yeah.
Right.
The fact that Captain America comes out on Valentine's Day, and I'm more excited to see the slasher Hard Eyes.
Not Bridget Jones?
Oh, sure, isn't it? On the old... well, it is getting a cinema release, but sure, it's getting an out home release too, isn't it? Mm. It means I can watch it in the comfort of my own house.
In the tub.
Oh, fuck, imagine a week Bar Galaxy. Woo! What a night.
With all various music from the 90s playing, bit of Gabrielle. Out of reach. Because we're going to do a podcast about this, I've actually went back and rewatched the 3 Bridget Jones movies. I have a soft spot for them. Mm-hmm. If I was a woman, I'd want to date Mr. Darcy. But that's a podcast discussion for another day.
Oh, 100%.
Yes. So, steering back, Fantastic Four, and then at some point we'll get back to talking about American football.
Yes. Yeah, like Fantastic Four. I don't know. I think the trailer, it was a good teaser. I think the trailer, if it showed them all in action fighting something, people probably would have been more excited for it. But it's a good trailer to sort of set the tone and sort of introduce the Thing, because I think a lot of people were nervous about what the Thing was going to be like, because we've had old Michael Chiklis's "Hey, I'm the Thing," and then we had Jamie Bell, that was his name, walking about with his big rock cock out,
lad, full on lad, and to have, I can never pronounce his name, but Richie from the bar, as the Thing, using his normal voice, talking about putting more garlic in the dish. Good stuff. Yeah, it's fun. It looks okay. There's nothing there that makes me, I come back to that point, makes you go, fuck, I have to be there on opening that. And Fantastic Four is another like top tier Marvel comic. Stan Lee, God rest him, would sit and say proud creations of like up there with Stan. Like for Stan, like, I know he loves the Thing. He loves the Hulk as well. I guess it's that kind of thing of someone, the changing of someone. But I know he's talked in the past about his love for the Fantastic Four, the first family of Marvel. Really, isn't that how they're referred?
It is indeed, and I think with the popularity at the minute of Marvel Rivals, the video game, like that has fucking like tens of millions of players, and at the minute Fantastic Four is the main focal point of that. That's just fucking free advertising. I think people will be surprised how well this does in the summer.
I think Marvel needs, and the MCU needs, a real big hit. I know they're like, oh fuck, is it next year or is it the year after we're having the Avengers movie?
Well, they start filming soon, so I'd assume next year.
Next year, maybe early 2027.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, when's the last time a Marvel... Again, this is probably a discussion for another day. Maybe for Free Comic Book Day, we'll have a chat about that. But when was the last time it's like a Marvel movie was a must-see?
Guardians 3.
And even then, I think, as much as I love that, I think that's for Guardians fans as opposed to like just general cinema goers. People, I'd probably say the last one really is Avengers Endgame. Where that sense of like you were watching something come to an end, and really you've watched Marvel struggle to kind of recapture that sense. Let's always say this, as much as been problems in the features in terms of writing, etc., and narrative shifts, some of that now is having to be rejigged by stuff that's out of writers and out of producers' control. It's been decisions they've made due to various actors and what they've decided. But look, that's a discussion for another day. As we say, we are gearing up for Super Bowl. Now, you setting up to watch it? I guess not.
No.
I guess not. So I will. I'll get to the halftime show. Any halftime show you've ever watched you loved?
Janet Jackson's nipple.
Whoa. Not even a wee bit of Jennifer Lopez a couple of years ago? You're like, that woman's 50? Jesus.
I watched her in, what's the one where she plays the stripper?
Hustlers?
I worked in the cinema at the time. I would often watch the first 5 minutes of that nightly.
Yeah.
As a wee treat to myself.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Just you turn into like Paul Rudd beside someone, kind of just going, look at us, eh? Look at us. Someone else working in the cinema. Look at us, eh? Brilliant.
It would be a wee, like, say it started at 8.
Yeah.
You would be like, right, there's 20 minutes of trailers. So if I get in here before 8:30, I'm guaranteed to see J-Lo cheeks.
Yeah. Oh, man. What a film.
It's great.
And, I remember watching that Super Bowl. There was the Katy Perry one, I've already mentioned. Sat up for that. Last year, wasn't 50 Cent last year. Wasn't 50 Cent last year. Who was it last year? Was it Justin Timberlake last year?
Don't know.
No, I think Justin Timberlake was a couple of years ago. I'm trying to remember this now because I'm trying to go through my head of Super Bowls we've sat up for. There was...
Was it the D-O-double-G?
He was a couple of years ago. I can't remember. No, I'll tell you now. It was Rihanna, I'm nearly certain, last year. Because then it was all big. Everyone was going, who's she going to have with her? Because you always bring that wee collaborator. She's like, yeah, I'm going to have someone with me. You're never going to guess who it is. And of course, that was when she revealed she was pregnant. And that person, fair play, Rihanna. Before that, I know the year before that, we had like 50 Cent. God bless him. He was, and Dr. Dre. Poor old 50 Cent was out of breath by his number. He was doing the old push-ups upside down. He was trying to do the Richard Gere from An Officer and a Gentleman. We have had The Weeknd.
I think that was my last one I've ever seen.
Kendrick Lamar this year. I know he's won all these Grammys. I've never heard a Kendrick Lamar song beyond the backing vocals he did for American Soul for U2. Never has a man sounded so white.
Was last year Beyonce?
No, Beyonce was a while ago. I'm nearly certain last year was Rihanna. I could be wrong.
Do you know who Rihanna should bring out? Shy Rodney. There's a reference for the Lonely Island Kids.
There we go. So, you're not sitting up to watch it?
No.
I will. I'm working the evening shift that day. I'm going to come home. I'll have a wee nap. I've learned that if I want to get through the full game, I'll have a wee nap. But during the day, my lovely wife, I'll start it. We'll make some chicken wings. Do them in the air fryer. Watch that. We'll have the chicken wings. We'll get to halftime. Amber will be like, I'm in bed.
Now, you're talking to the chicken wing expert. What flavour are you going from it?
Frank's hot sauce.
Fucking right.
Is there any Frank's hot sauce? Buffalo.
Oh yeah.
There's no other, like, it's like when people go, oh, what chicken wing flavour would you like? And they go through, it's like, there's just one choice.
Is this a dry rub? No, man. You're getting soaking with sauce.
Do you want barbecue? No. I'm fucking 42 and fucking civilised. Get me that Frank sauce, hot sauce, and a bib. Yeah. Frank, now, do you make your own chicken wings, or are you just a purchaser of them?
I do both.
Now, when you do it, when you get your chicken wings, are you cutting the wee giblet bit off?
Oh, no.
The extra wee bit off, or are you leaving that on?
I'm leaving that on, son.
So you're doing yours Hooter style?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I cut my Frank's hot sauce with just a wee knob of butter mixed in with, just so it's not a
bit of corn flour
on the wing.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Not like fucking like randomly on something.
in my eyes.
Fuck out! No, that hurts.
No, I'm a big wing advocate.
Okay. Well, so tell us now. So you're preparing your chicken wings. This is what people are really here for. Adam Neeson, what are you going with?
Now, what you want is, I want buffalo, right? Now, what I want is, you want to get those wings. You want to crack in a wee bit of salt and pepper.
Yeah.
Then you want to get on your Frank's early.
Now, are you someone who'll do like I will? You're going to let your chicken wings sit overnight in buttermilk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let those bad boys marinate.
Yeah.
Then Frank's, empty buttermilk, Frank's, let it marinate for a few hours in the fridge with the Frank's. Then when you're going to cook.
Are you air frying or are you oven cooking?
Air frying. I don't got time for air fry.
I don't time to bleed.
Bang them in. Just before they're finished, Frank's, cut with butter.
Yeah.
But cover those bad boys so you can't even see them. Back into the air fryer, just for a few.
Have you given them wee dusting with corn flour, as we said?
Oh yes. You want them to stick, and then straight onto the plate. And then choice of blue cheese.
Oh, the wee sauce? Oh, mate.
And a wee bit of celery if you've got it.
Oh, mate, I'm hungry. One round. Set yourself up and make yours. Maybe we should do a wee Banderflicks watch along the Super Bowl.
Just suck at each other's fingers.
I don't know if I can continue this podcast. But anyway, so we are watching the Super Bowl. We've got through the halftime show. We've seen all the trailers. Adam, let's talk movies that feature American football. We've each got our little list. I'm going to kick mine off and I'm going to play a clip and everyone's going to know what it is.
So, you don't think this is an obvious suicide, Mr. Pet Detective?
Well, I wouldn't say that. Lord knows there's plenty of evidence here to support your theory. Except, of course, for that spot of blood on the railing over there. May I tell you what I think happened? Alrighty then. Roger Podacter went out after work. He had a few drinks and he came home. But he wasn't alone. Someone else was with him in this apartment. There was a struggle and he was thrown over that balcony. Roger Podacter didn't commit suicide. He was murdered.
Well, that's a very entertaining story, but unfortunately, real detectives have to worry about that little thing called evidence.
Uh-oh. I think I heard a toilet flush. Maybe somebody lost a turtle.
Well, I guess I'm a little out of my league here. Einhorn, good work. Oh, there is just one more thing, Lieutenant. This woman is Roger Podacter's neighbor. She lives across the hall. She said she heard a scream. Is that right, ma'am?
Right.
And you said you had to open the balcony door when you keyed into the room?
That's true.
You're certain you had to open this door?
Yeah, I'm certain.
What's the point, Ventura?
Only this. This is double-pane soundproof glass. There's no way that neighbor could have heard Podacter scream on the way down with that door shut. The scream she heard came from inside this apartment before he was thrown over the balcony, and the murderer closed the door before he left. Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah! Can you feel that, buddy? Huh? 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 I have exorcised the demons.
This house is clear.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Ace Ventura, Dan Marino, the Miami Dolphins. Prairie Dolphins been kidnapped.
Have you got a mint?
Do not go in there. I love Ace Ventura. It's a film I grew up with. It's my introduction to Jim Carrey. And just puts a smile on my face. And when I was thinking about American football, I'm surprised actually when I had Bill on, not last year, but I think the year before, when we did our little American football special with the Waterboy, which I'm not referencing in this pod just because you've got that Waterboy pod to go and listen to. I'm surprised I didn't go with Ace Ventura because I love that film.
I'm an Ace Ventura 2 man myself.
Everyone loves a Schlinky.
Like a glove. But
Peanuts? No, it's bulky, but I consider it carry on.
Bumblebee tuna. But like I said a few weeks ago, I watched
Guano, collect the set. Yummy.
Jim, what would do a Ace
The
Ventura thing?
Monopoly guy. Say hello, Blinky. I've watched Ace Ventura too many times.
The fucking, what does he call the elephant? The elephant crushes the car.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I can't remember.
Jumbo? No, can't remember.
Kind of hot in these rhinos.
Look, Mom, it's giving birth. Yeah, Ace Ventura I watched recently when I was in America, and it was the TV.
I think that's why it was in my mind, because you said as the voice note that you said you'd watched it.
It was the TV cut,
right?
That cut out all the stuff.
The trans stuff, transphobic stuff.
The transphobic stuff.
That has aged like a turd.
Oh, fuck. But if you watched, if that was your first time ever watching it, you'd be like, what happened? Why is the police captain now arrested? He's just cuts it all out. Ace Ventura 1, to me, I could see people watching that and being like, oh, fuck, this guy's annoying. I
think any of them, both of those films you could watch. I think both 1 and 2 you could watch and go, fuck, he's annoying as fuck. I think, like the whole Courtney Cox relationship in that. You go, I don't believe it. It's not safe for you to go home tonight.
I know, because he ends up bucking her.
Yeah.
And it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
But there's bits in Ace Ventura where I love, where it's like the coach guy gets killed and it's like, he couldn't have possibly done it because the neighbor heard a scream. And then it's just like, I'm looking for Ray Finkel and a clean pair of shorts.
That's
laces in.
Let's see that in rewind.
Yes. I think the bit when they go to the mental health facility is Jim Carrey a genius. It's just when you go it's Jim Carrey being like practical gurney comedic genius. You either love it or you don't. Like in The Mask, I know, which was out before that, he kind of did that, but a lot of it's CGI, and the CGI does look a bit shit by today's standards. And The Mask is a film, talking earlier about, I've rewatched and go, oh, this is boring. I don't love it as much as I do, other than certain scenes when Cameron Diaz first walks on stage or walks into the door at the bank.
It's a movie I've said to you before. I used to watch 2 videotapes every day.
Mr.
Bean and The Mask.
Smoking.
And even back then, it does have long stretches of nothing. It's a weird film. And also has like a really dead serious gangster element to it. And
it's also got a dog that pisses fire.
Oh, fuck, when we talk about Son of the Mask, I threatened...
Is going to be your big hit, Jamie Kennedy?
I threatened before Christmas, we were talking about doing comedy movies in January. I was like, comedy sequels.
You killed that.
In the back of my head, I was like, fuck, we could do Son of the Mask. I
think, hasn't Jim Carrey said he's open to returning to that role?
Yeah, but then he was also like, I retire, but we'll happily do Sonic.
Yeah, he's going to happily retire because they will come back to him, because those movies make stupid amount of money. They go, there you go, Jim. What, next time we're going to have 3 Robotniks.
Did you see Sonic 3?
Not yet. I'm looking forward to watching it.
Same, because I've seen the clips of him doing old man Robotnik and normal Robotnik. Looks great.
I have a friend I've mentioned on the pod quite often, my mate Barry in Linlithgow, and he has his young son Hamish. I don't know how old Hamish is. I think Hamish is about 8 or 9. Peak, Sonic, 3. They went to see it in the cinema, and I don't think they sent me a voice note. They sent me a review, and Barry just said loved it.
Fucking right.
And he loved it because Hamish loved it. And it's like, we can watch that film and he's not bored watching it.
I walked out of Sonic 2 because I went and seen it in 40X.
Ooh.
And I was like, this will be good because like speed and fucking thing. And then just all of the egg puns that Jim Carrey was doing, I was like, I can't fucking do this for 2 hours. I need to leave. But Ace Ventura, it's football aspect.
Yeah.
It's where I learned who Dan Marino was. And then what like Super Bowl rings were and stuff.
And it's where I thought the Miami Dolphins were the best American football team of all time.
Maybe they are.
For many, no word of a lie, for many years, you'd like when you're kind of growing up and go, what American football teams? You're like, Miami Dolphins. Another one would be, because of The Simpsons, the Atlanta Falcons. That was it. That was only 2 teams I knew, really.
The Springfield Isotopes.
Oh, you knew you would get cut out there.
That's baseball. That fucking up, man.
Fucking bastard. But yeah, I have a soft spot for Ace Ventura. So that's my first pick. That wasn't on your list? No. So do you want to we'll play a clip of your next pick?
Yes.
Okay.
My next pick is The Longest Yard.
Hard to get psyched for game without caretaker being here. But somehow, that sick, skinny bastard found a way to get us all fired up from beyond the grave. Caretaker's last gift to us. Battle, I presume this is yours.
Still don't think that's big enough.
That's it? No, that ain't it. Caretaker said he'd find us some gear to wear.
Okay, so The Longest Yard. Is this the Adam Sandler version?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it is. Not the Burt Reynolds version?
No, I've never seen. But weirdly...
Not the Mean Machine rip-off with Vinnie Jones?
I do love the Mean Machine.
What's Jason Statham's character, the monk?
The monk.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff. What's it called?
The Longest Yard.
Longest Yard. The film I picked. Weirdly did Legacy sequel sort of before everybody else. Because Burt Reynolds comes back playing the coach.
Yeah.
Not a good movie, but 100% makes me laugh every time. And has...
Chris Rock's in it.
Chris Rock is in it. It's got Sandler, William Fichtner, Warriors from the Warriors and Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Joey Diaz.
Rob Schneider in it.
Rob Schneider.
Yeah.
He does.
Of course he is.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Mate,
what's the film where Adam Sandler pops up in the Rob Schneider movie in the "You Can Do It" role? Is it Juice Bigelow?
It's Juice Bigelow.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's the animal, but it's not. No. Hot Chick is the one where he plays the stoner guy that sells like bongs and stuff. I know too much. the Schneiderverse.
So, Adam, what is going to be your specialist subject for Mastermind? Adam Sandler movies.
But this movie features Stone Cold Steve Austin, Diesel, Goldberg.
All Trump supporters.
Oh. And then who's the James Cromwell?
Yeah.
Is the fucking warden. It's actually...
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
It's got Nelly in it. What more do you want?
With his wee plaster?
He's got the plaster on the cheek. Towards the end, when it gets to the football section, it's actually really well edited, like game of football. That whenever I was growing up, I was sort of like, "Fuck! If American football is as exciting as this, then maybe I might watch it." It's not. and the comedy sort of like falls away towards the end and it gets a bit serious because
So you know it's a good movie then?
like I said, my brother was like Longest Yard, greatest film ever.
We've not won any Oscars.
But like any Adam Sandler film, it's full of, there's jokes about Tracy Morgan plays a gay gentleman who has sex with another man. Whenever Nelly and the other black characters turned up, of course, there's rap music. So it's a movie that doesn't really stand the test of time, but in that sort of Adam Sandler era, he sort of sleepwalks through it, but everybody else around him is doing a good job. The thing is in it from the Fantastic Four. No, the Great Khali. Isn't he in it?
I'm nearly certain I think it's been a long time since I've seen it. I think you're right, though.
I think he is.
Message in if he's wrong. Someone will.
I wonder if the Great Khali is a Trump supporter.
Probably. That's the only thing. It's like when you go back now and rewatch Frasier and you go, oh, this has been ruined because Kelsey Grammer loves Donald Trump.
I know. And the thing too, he plays Hank McCoy.
Yeah.
In the X-Men. Hank wouldn't have been a Trump supporter.
He wouldn't have done that. But anyway, so that's your top pick.
Yes.
The Longest Yard. Mine, I'm being very tenuous.
Come on, ladies! Let's play fourth quarter!
Get in there and take his fucking head off.
You think it's Principal Drake?
Who else? If she's in charge, it would make perfect sense. Forgetting everybody. I mean, the whole town is here.
By morning, there won't be a human left.
So that's a clip of our second choice, and that's The Faculty, Adam, which is getting a remake soon, which I'm not that excited about. Remake/reboot, it's in the works. But I remember the American football scene in that movie. I know it's a small part, but it's a big part because this weird thing, like in America, like everybody will pretty much their college football. That will be the Friday Night Lights, the aforementioned Friday Night Lights. They will be there watching that. And that sequence in The Faculty when the team where the aliens have come and take over, they're playing each other, fucking beating the shite out of the opponents, and it's Robert Patrick is the coach. And just there's constantly like, anytime I think of The Faculty, I always think of that sequence, and it's like some guy nearly gets his fucking neck ripped off, and it's just Robert Patrick just reaction, woof, ooh, like, ooh, that's a good one. And I love that sequence. I know that's the way I've thought about this. As I say, I've already mentioned there's Any Given Sunday, Friday Night Lights, Remember the Titans, all that stuff. Those films are available. I just went with movies that feature American football that I love. And I also love The Faculty.
Also, the second movie this week we mentioned starring Jon Stewart.
Yeah. And also, don't forget, talking of Frasier, it's got Lilith in it. And I think I've mentioned about this before, maybe not in the podcast, but I've definitely mentioned it to people. I, growing up, had such a crush on Lilith because it was like the stone cold sexy bitch. And you were like, wow, she would just shout at you. Or she would just be like, she'd reach orgasm and you'd be giving it fucking stacks. And she'd be like, I've come. And I can't think of anything more erotic.
Just to go back to the Waterboy. The Waterboy's ma, would you?
Yeah. Kathy Bates?
Yeah. But as the Waterboy's ma, as this fucking
devil.
As Mrs. Buffet.
No, but what do you call the actress that plays the girlfriend?
Oh, mate, from The Craft?
Yes.
Mamma mia.
Maybe your good mate Peter can put us in touch.
I've got a new mummy to meet. My second choice let's play a clip.
What is this craziness with Tiffany
There's
Maxwell?
no craziness. I told you who she was. I was doing this thing with her. We had a conversation.
Nuts. When you started spending time with her, it all fell apart. This is the fucking reason right here.
You think I fucked up all the Eagles juju, don't you?
Ever since he was with you,
You think that I'm why today's happened?
That's right. You are why today's
I'm the reason why today happened.
I think so.
Let's talk about that.
Be my guest.
The first night that Pat and I met at my sister's, the Eagles beat the 49ers handily 40-26. The second time we got together, we went for a run, and the Phillies beat the Dodgers 7-5 in the NLCS.
She's right, Dad.
The next time we went for a run, the Eagles beat the Falcons 27-14.
Wow.
The third time we got together, we had Raisin Bran in the diner, and the Phillies dominated Tampa Bay in the fourth game of the World Series 10-2.
Oh, wow. Fascinating. Let me think about that. Wait a minute.
Well, why don't you think about when the Eagles beat the Seahawks 14-7?
He was with you?
He was with me. We went for a run.
Really?
There have been no games since Pat and I have been rehearsing every day, and if Pat had been with me like he was supposed to, he wouldn't have gotten in a fight. He wouldn't be in trouble. Maybe the Eagles beat the New York Giants.
She's making a lot of sense, Pop.
That's Silver Linings Playbook, which is probably the most American football heavy I'll get, because it's sort of Robert De Niro being like, "Hey, he's my good luck charm," every time Chris Tucker turns up. Not a movie about American football at all. It's
all about they're betting on it, isn't that what it is?
Yeah, it's betting stuff.
I love Silver Lining Playbooks.
Oh, it's a great film, and it's also a film that Bradley Cooper was like, "I'll definitely win an Oscar for this one." Nope.
He should have been nominated. Was he? Was he nominated?
I think he might have been nominated. It's a really good movie. David O. Russell, can we separate the art from the artist? Yes, David O. Russell, fuck off, you fucking weirdo.
I know you wanted to talk about that.
Let's just say Damien Leone, fuck you as well. Not fuck you, but quickly get into it. Damien Leone sort of made a statement saying that he's Switzerland and that he doesn't have any political view and he just wants to enjoy horror for horror's sake and not get into anything political. But Damien, whenever your cast is heavily into politics and advocates for LGBTQ plus community and stuff, you can't make a post that pretty much circles out your main star and be like, I don't really, this franchise isn't about politics. Sorry, man, horror is always about politics, whether you like it or not. Whether it's Friday the 13th,
Part 6,
which is about,
Vietnam.
Well,
post-American Vietnam.
Post-American Vietnam and how people treated disabled people back then, or if it's, Get Out, which obviously is about heavy political socialism.
Hellraiser 3, mate.
Hellraiser 3. It's about people getting political about where do I put my CDs in this woman's head.
I know I'm being jestful, but I totally agree with you.
Yes, and
it's of all the genres, horror is the one where you can explore topics and probably in the quickest turnaround. You can explore those big topics in the quickest turnaround of stuff in a multitude of ways and very effective way. We think of Get Out, as you've mentioned.
It's for Damien Leone to have that sort of grindhouse influence with his Terrifier movies, for to have all those movies in the back of his head that he's sort of not ripping off but taking homage to. And then not being Terrifier 3, you know what I mean? He's literally doing Deadly Night, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and it's like, mate, if you don't think horror is political, you're a fucking idiot. And
because he just thinks horror makes money.
Well, fuck, it does, doesn't it?
That's what. Look, hey, you know my thoughts on Terrifier movies.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get disagreed, but no, I know because before we listeners shock horror, Adam and I actually chat about what we're going to talk about on these pods. Very, very rarely do we stay on topic, but that was one of the things I know you wanted to mention this week's recording.
Yes, it's just because it's sort of in the zeitgeist at the minute, and it sort of has annoyed me this week along with Trump. Fuck Trump, but Trump's...
Adam, this is the thing I've come with, right?
Yes.
Mark Kermode, I know ye Lord and Master, made a really good point on The Take And I know I'm like Between the Take, and I also always every so often mention Simon Brew's pod. Those are the two big movie podcasts I would listen to. I've given up on Empire and all that stuff. But he made a really good point. It's like, you have to pace yourself in this with Trump, because we are 2 weeks into his presidency, and you have at least 4 years of this to go. And it's like, it's only 2 weeks. And as someone who works in the news cycle, who every day is coming in, it's like, today we've had Donald Trump said this and Donald Trump said that. You're like, fuck, I'm at overload with this already. And then you're told, do I want to put it in? And then you're basically more or less said, when you discuss with the news team, it's like, it's newsworthy. Put it in, because people will either love him or people will go, oh, fuck, I can't stand. Well, what the fuck has he actually said? But remember this, listeners. I'm saying this now as we record in February. We are 2 weeks into the Donald Trump presidency 2.0. Pace yourselves. Do not let yourselves get overwhelmed by it all. And I know it's very easy for me saying that. There is issues, particularly around LGBTQ+. The trans community, I know in America, no other way of putting it, is getting shit upon by Donald Trump. There will always be help out there and resources, much more than us two silly boys. But for those of us that aren't in that position, that are just looking at the Donald Trump presidency right now and what's happening, and knows we much have to be champions and help where we can, pace yourselves.
I'll just say,
it's 2 weeks into it.
I'll just say this. For every taxi I get in and the taxi driver tells me, you know what, he says silly things, but he gets things done, I will be leaving you 1-star reviews on your Uber, because you're a fucking idiot.
Yes, that is very true. Like his comment, I don't want to get it. His comments about Gaza. That is not a president coming in. That is kind of someone who's a product of kind of gentrification, looking at somewhere that's a complete shithole. That property is going to be cheap to buy. We build it up, we redevelop, we sell it, we make a shitload of money. That is the world he looks in. That's the world he comes from, the world he lives in. Come back to the point, listeners. We're a silly movie pod, but pace yourselves with a Donald. This is going to continue, but if you can kind of block out that noise, if you're in a position to block out that noise, and go watch a few Adam Sandler movies.
But also a podcast where we often ask our guests, when was the last time you shit yourself?
Yeah.
If Donald was here, it'd be every day, because the man wears nappies.
Anyway, so Adam, where were we?
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yes, Silver Linings Playbook. Yes, so we're talking about Silver Linings Playbook. I absolutely love that film. I love Jennifer Lawrence in that film. I love the relationship that exists between her, and I know I've used this phrase before and I've talked about it, and I've said I've had to correct myself. So work with me in this one in my head. It's about, I've would in the past would have said it's about people damaged. And that's not the term. This is people who various things, their mental health has been impacted by external forces. And it's people coming together who each have their own issues, and it leaves them not content and happy and satisfied, but just leaves them on a better path to where they go. And more importantly, the dance sequence at the end, without going into spoilers, it understands the Rocky rule. It's not about winning, it's about taking place. It's about taking part.
It's not about broken people, it's about people putting themselves back together. And it is, there is very much a heavy mental health chat in that movie, but not, it's like surface level, but it is enough that you sort of understand those characters and the way they interact with each other. I think that Jennifer Lawrence and De Niro have a really beautiful relationship in that film, because it's very slight, but she has a lot of problems, and De Niro seems to have a care for her, even though he doesn't love her, even though his own son has the same problems, and he's sort of like, get over yourself.
Now, Adam, just because I can see you watching me, and we always talk about IMDb breaks, I'm actually not, as we record, I'm actually not trying to do an IMDb break. I'm actually, although I probably could do it, would be easier to do it that way. I was looking, but I can't find it. There's a song in the Silver Lining Playbooks. There's a song in the Silver Lining Playbook. It plays over the closing titles. And it is one of my favourite songs. And every so often when I need a bit of a pick-me-up, I throw it on.
It's the Cha-Cha Slide.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is, mate. I'll have to take an IMDb break and figure it out. But
Amber's like, Jim, are you okay? And you're like, one hop, two times.
I haven't watched Silverline. I actually remember going to see it at the Strand, and it was probably outside of a specialist, 35mm print screening where it's become a nostalgia thing now. I remember going to see it at the Strand, and it was being projected in 35mm, and it just looked fab. As I say, I have a lot of love for that film. I think Jennifer Lawrence is great. I think David O. Russell, aside of his politics, he, particularly for that brief period, he knew how to get the best out of Jennifer Lawrence.
Definitely.
Like those, 3 roles back to back?
That American Hustle and Joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Joy's a flawed film, but I do like it.
I do. Like, David O. Russell as a director, like, I like I Heart Huckabee and, The Fighter. I like all those movies, but with Amsterdam, this last film, I'm sort of like, what you doing, mate? What's this?
Yeah.
He seemed to be someone who just loved the smell of his own fucking farts and thought that Amsterdam was going to be just this runaway success, and everybody just said, no, mate.
Not for us.
Thanks for the clip of Taylor Swift getting pushed under a taxi, because it's always funny.
That is true. I can't find the song I'm specifically looking for, but one scene that features music in Silverline's playbook that I love is The Girl from the North Country by Johnny Cash. It's Johnny Cash with Bob Dylan. Oh, just a perfect use of that song. And yeah, I can't remember the name of their song. I'll find it. I'll put a link up on Facebook or something if I ever remember to. But yeah, good film, brilliant film, good choice. And as I say, there is a American football reference, as we say. They're betting.
And Chris Tucker's good at it.
Chris Tucker is good at it, because that was a time when you go, oh, remember Chris Tucker?
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't seen him in anything since The Fifth Element.
You're not a big Rush Hour 3 fan?
Yeah, I suppose I have. I mean, he kind of did the kind of Eddie Murphy thing for a little while.
Yeah, he was weirdly one of those people that like would work with alter directors, because like he was in like Jackie Brown and stuff. You're like, fuck, is this guy gonna have like a sort of career? And then, like you say, he did the Eddie Murphy.
Yeah,
and he's just like, oh, I'll just collect a check.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Gefilte fish.
You've got mortgages to pay. But yeah, he's great in The Fifth Element,
and I think he's actually a decent stand-up.
I haven't seen his stand-up.
Isn't not to get political again, but wasn't he on the plane with Epstein and Trump?
Allegedly. Allegedly, for any lawyers listening. Okay, we'll move on from that. We'll move on to my choice, which is the most tenuous of tenuous references to American football.
That's a lovely, lovely voice. Let the games begin.
What a wonderful voice. Is this tenuous?
I think no, because that was a really important trailer at the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Because people were excited after The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And then
for clarity for listeners, we should say this is The Dark Knight Rises. And the reason why I've included this, as you've mentioned, big trailer. I remember the trailer for this happening. And it's not the quarterback, but it's the guy running. He's receiving the ball, and the bomb has exploded in the middle underneath the the pitch, and it's coming down behind him, and he's just running and running, and he gets the touchdown, and then just looks round and is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's a very muted reaction.
Yeah. It's like, I got a touchdown! You won't want to go off and do the Homer Simpson kind of showboating skill. I'm surprised we've got this far. I haven't really talked about the Simpsons episode when they go to Super Bowl. Dolly Parton.
Is that the one where the guy kicks his leg and his leg comes off?
No,
So
that's another one.
episode?
That's another one. That's another one. I don't think that's the Super Bowl. That's just an American football. But there is an episode of The Simpsons where they get the bus. They go, and I think there's a Dan Marino reference in there as well.
I think I remember.
And there's a guy. He's like he's doing portraits outside the stadium. And it's like, do you like? I don't know. Was it June bugs or no? What is it? What is it called? Like the weird cars. What do you call the cars you get in Dodgems?
I do know what you mean. I can't remember.
It's like, say, like, do you like Citroens? It's like, not really. It's like, you're going to be sitting in a Citroen. You like Citroens. And it's like, I think Dan Marino, I think someone's getting a pass. It's like, I'm getting the perfect pass. And Homer intercepts. They go to they put a group of lads go to the Super Bowl, but it turns out that their tickets are all fake and they're printed on crackers.
Yes, I do remember this.
And Dolly Parton saves them. Rupert Murdoch shows up.
Well, he's a hero of everybody. I was thinking of the time when Homer and Flanders go to the football game.
Oh, is there an episode of The Simpsons where Homer has to do the halftime show? And then everyone's horribly offended because it's religious, because he asks Ned to do it?
I can't remember.
I think Ned makes... Yeah. I'm such a nerd.
I was thinking of the time when he's like, Flanders takes him to the football game, and then when they're driving out, Flanders is like, do you want me to hide? And he's like, no, I don't care. I want everybody to know that Ned Flanders is my best friend. And then Lenny and Carl are there. And Carl goes, what did he say? And Lenny goes, I don't know, something like being gay.
The Simpsons, pure genius.
Oh, fuck me.
The Simpsons, pure genius. But there is an episode, I'm nearly certain, where Homer gets the gig of doing the halftime show, and Ned has started making very successful religious movies.
Okay.
And
does he take his top off?
Probably,
because he's gorgeous.
He's some boy, he's some pup, and Homer can't figure out what to do, so they flood the stadium at the interval and turn it. It's like Noah, and then everyone's like, "Oh, this is great!" It's like, and then someone goes, "Is this religious? We're outraged! This is disgusting! How dare they force religion down our throat?" And but I just know the Super Bowl episode of The Simpsons, Dolly Parton shows up,
and then the Family Guy episode where Homer does Shapoopy.
Oh yeah, Shapoopy. But yes, Dark Knight Rises. I as I say, I picked this because I tried to think outside the box because I didn't want it to be a boring podcast. Oh fuck, we're going to talk about Any Given Sunday. They're going to talk about The Water Boy. I haven't done that in this pod. We've mentioned them briefly, and I think as previous point, if you like American football, go seek those films out. But if you want to see 5 minutes of a 2.5 hour movie, where a stadium gets blown up. Actually, for that point, I could have and should have maybe put in Oblivion with Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's a sequence where they go to the stadium. It's like, this is where the last Super Bowl was played.
Or,
But you see, I couldn't include that, Adam, because no actual American football is played in the movie.
True. You're also thinking of X-Men Days of Future Past when Magneto lifts the stadium.
That's true, yeah.
And then Richard Nixon is like, row.
And he puts it back, and everyone's like, that Magneto.
He's
and
alright.
Professor X turns to him and he's like, goodbye, old friend.
Hope this doesn't happen again in 10 years.
Here, mate, I've just committed mass genocide. Goodbye, old friend. You know what, though? Saying all that, see if you were to say to me now, McAvoy, Fassbender, back Secret Wars for X-Men, I would be excited.
Oh, 100%. And it also has to end the same way.
Yeah, goodbye, old friend. We've killed everybody. Goodbye, old friend. Anyway, sorry, yes. Dark Knight Rises, I think it gets a bit of a kick in. And I know it's like Paddington 3 of the Chris Nolan trilogy. It's the weakest of the three, but I still like Dark Knight Rises.
I think it's because it followed the Dark Knight, where Dark Knight ends on such a high, where it's like, fuck, he's Batman. And then to come back, and then it's like, He's not Batman.
He's old.
7 years.
All he needs to do is get a wee thing round his knee. He can kick again.
As we have mentioned before, kicks through a wall, breaking his feet.
I like what they do, and what Nolan always did with the Batman movies. He did ground them. At the same time, he gives us a fucking flying bat wing thing round the city, and a film that has, if you sit back and go plot holes, you can go, fuck, well, how the fuck did he get back to Gotham and this, that, and the other? But there's parts of it I just love. And I always say, here's a mark, I think, of not a great movie, but a good movie that's carrying you across the finishing line. Problems like that, if you pause, and maybe you did, I'm sure maybe someone listening maybe did, if like you go in the middle of the film and the screening and like Bruce Wayne, he's lost all his money. He's been off somewhere in the Middle Easty kind of place in a wee pit. He's finally escaped. And finally, somehow, gets back to Gotham. And you're like, how the fuck did he get back there? He's no money. How the fuck did, if you, I'm sure there was people who kind of like went, hang on, in the middle of that screening, or other people go, here, what? Do you mean to tell, I don't know why I went full Dougal there. Here, do you mean to tell me every orphan in the world will just know who Batman is? Yeah.
And that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's real name is Robin.
Oh, yeah.
But,
that was the one I kind of went, oh, come on. You don't need to do that. The other part I always remember, I've said this before in the pod, listen back to our Batman special we did many years ago, where we have the speech that Bane delivers outside the prison. It's supposedly written by Commissioner Gordon. You go back. Actually, I'm going to play a clip.
You have been supplied with a false idol to stop you tearing down this corrupt city. Let me tell you the truth about Harvey Dent. From the words of Gotham's police commissioner, James Gordon. The Batman didn't murder Harvey Dent. He saved my boy. Then took the blame for Harvey's appalling crimes so that I could, to my shame, build a lie around this fallen idol. I praised the madman who tried to murder my own child, but I can no longer live with my lie. It is time to trust the people of Gotham with the truth, and it is time for me to resign.
So there you go. See, when you listen to that speech, you tell me, Adam, was that written by Commissioner Gordon or a 5-year-old?
Seems a bit lofty to me. Although I've never heard Gordon give a speech apart from what I did in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Anyway, so that was mine. Dark Knight Rises. I just kind of talked about there. Are you a fan of it?
No, I can't defend it, and I've watched it enough times, where it's a Joker syndrome, where I've like, do I like this? Do I like that? But I remember coming home from America the day it came out, buzzing for it, and then that night, going to see it in the Odeon in Belfast, and then leaving it being like, that was no Dark Knight. So no. Like, I think Batman Begins is the best of the three.
Oh, I would agree with you.
But I was like, it's not even, doesn't even have like a structure of like Batman Begins. Like, there's no real
there
finale
is some,
to it.
I mean, come on, the sequence in the plane with Bane at the start.
Some of it is gorgeous, but like when you're getting to like fucking weepy Michael Caine, I just thought I was actually sick. You're just like, no.
Coffee shop.
I had a dream that I seen you in a coffee shop, and you got a little strop muffle and put it right on top of your cup, and it melted, and you got caramel all down your chili chin.
Be careful about that, sir, because any more of that, you'll blow the bloody doors off.
We're watching Gotham at the minute, right? The TV show Gotham, which I really enjoy. It's not good, but I really enjoy it. And Sean Pertwee plays Alfred.
Yeah.
Right. And every so often, because he is English, he'll put some like English like slang in, right? And and he called somebody treacle at one point.
Oof.
Right? Now, for the past, I would say 3 months, me and Heidi have been going around the house pretending to click our heels and never referring to Bruce Wayne as Bruce Wayne or Batman, but Master T, and the T stands for treacle. So we just keep going.
Fuck, I'd hate to live with you two.
Master T, T stands for treacle. And there's a place in town called Roasty Toasty.
Yeah.
And I sent Heidi a picture that said underneath, this is what Alfred says when he sticks the heat on. Roasty Toasty, Master T.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
See if you haven't already. I say you should marry that girl. That's how you get. I know you haven't done it yet, but you've got there. You've got the ring.
Yeah.
And she said yes. I would have said to you, Adam, this one's a keeper. But anyway, so you're not a big fan of Dark Knight Rises. We'll play a clip of of the last choice.
Thank you all for joining us here today, folks. There's been some exciting stuff happening at Rockbridge Falls recently. How many of you know about that little girl fight club that could?
Hey, there go my girl.
Well, do we have a surprise for you? We're gonna bring, where is she? Hazel down. One of the founding members, to show us everything the club's taught her in a fun little challenge.
What is this? I don't know.
Hazel will be fighting Tucker, the school's #1 boxer.
Wait, I thought I was gonna be fighting PJ?
I know what you're thinking, but don't be alarmed. Girls can do anything guys can do, right?
Yeah! Kick his ass!
That's 2023, I think. Bottoms.
Good choice.
Features a very exciting American football scene at the end of the movie.
And sadly, it's leaving Amazon Prime soon.
Ah, bollocks. Great film. Which has some of the funniest American footballers in it. Mm-hmm. Their sort of plot is hilarious. I don't want to spoil it because it sort of builds up to that moment at the end, but there's an explosive finale that takes place between the American footballers and the girls of the school that people were like, it's, you know, they're like ripping off like Heathers and stuff, and you know, sort of, who gives a fuck? It was hilarious.
You had your fun, and that's all that matters.
Yes, and I fell in love with Ayo and Rachel Sennett. Two girls that are hilarious. And
I think wasn't she involved in the screenplay as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
And really, like, if you go into that being like, they don't even look like high schoolers, who cares? And I'll watch anything they'll do from now on. I think they're both fantastic.
I love that because I can't remember. I don't think you were on the show the week we reviewed it.
Mm-hmm.
It came on Amazon Prime. I think it just dropped on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it got a theatrical release or anything like that. I think it's just one of those properties like some films do nowadays. They just dropped.
It came out down south.
Oh, did it?
Because
Okay.
I kept an eye on it, but never came out up here.
Okay. Because I just remember coming on to Prime and saying, I'm going to watch this. And I just love anything that is not just satirical, but is also unafraid to be absurdist.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is basically, as I've said before, with that kind of comedy, it's either you either have to go with it or don't. If you don't get it, that's fine. But I had a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that's 6 interesting movies with various connections to American football.
6 movies you've never put together.
I would imagine, to the way you go, I'm sure you did like this, best American football movies.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2 of the movies we've mentioned were on that list. I don't think anyone was going, here, fuck, top 10 American football movies. Number 9, Dark Knight Rises, fuck. I'm sure listeners is one we failed to mention. But as I said, I just wanted to do something a little bit different. And that's why I came up with my pick. My picks, I should say.
Because if you're watching the Super Bowl, you're probably invested in American football.
You probably understand the rules more than me, where I just know you've got 4 attempts to get it another 12 yards.
But cinema, to me, can capture sports in a way like nothing else. Like, if you watch The Colour of Money, snooker's not as exciting as that.
Do you know what film I've realised now? I forgot I was going to put on my list. I completely forgot. And very quickly, because we're going to wrap up, I don't know how I forgot. I got this far and didn't mention The Naked Gun.
Oh, well, which one?
First one.
That's not the Super Bowl. It's baseball.
Are you sure? Oh, you're all right. Yeah, I'm all right then. It's fine.
We did it. We'll have Super Bowl legend O.J. Simpson, who's a legend for playing football and being a great actor. That's about it.
You heard that right, lawyers. You heard that right. That's what we say. Anything else is just alleged.
Yeah, I don't know. Bronco?
Well, he did write a book, If I Did It.
Which is very accurate.
Yeah.
He's
Seems to know a lot.
He's a really good writer.
I'm relieved now because I was kind of getting my head going, but you're right, it is baseball.
Yeah.
And hey, if we're going to do a baseball, top 5 baseball movies, hey, just watch Field of Dreams.
Basketball.
That's true. I was, as I've said before, I was told when I interviewed the producer of Basketball and Orgasmo, I was told on good authority that Matt and Trey, if you ever meet them, they judge people. If they like those movies, they're like, we're going to get on. And I was like, yeah, I think we'll get on.
Yeah, 100%. They would love this podcast because I also like Cannibal the Musical.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
Yeah, on Tubi.
Boom.
Treat yourself.
I will indeed. So yeah, I think that's a good list that we came up with. I don't think there's anyone, if any of our American listeners, hopefully we haven't offended you, enjoy the game. By the time this pod is out, it's going to be over. So go team.
Can't believe they won.
Oh, did you see that ludicrous display last night?
Ludicrous was there?
Ludicrous. Anyway, yes, so that brings this pod to a close, and not 100% certain what we're going to be talking about next week. Possibly Bridget Jones, possibly Captain America. You're going to have to wait and see. We're going to be talking about both those franchises. I guess the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about Stephen King adaptations. We're going to have the lovely Joe the Arspert McElroy on the pod talking about that, because of course he does his little King's Corner for Fright Club.
And we've got the release of The Monkey,
which has got, I've heard middling reviews. I've heard some really good reviews. I've heard some really kind of 3-star reviews.
Well, Stephen King gave it a good review, so you know it's going to be good.
You know it's going to be good. That's when James Cameron gives you the 5 stars and you're like, all right, okay. Anyway, that's going to bring this pod to a close. So thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you, Dave.
And thank you very much for listening. If you've enjoyed this pod, make sure to leave us a nice review wherever you get your own when Shaggy do there. Thank you very much, listeners. If you've got this far and if you've enjoyed the experience, leave us a lovely review wherever you get your podcasting fix, because it's something free you can do. I always hate this bit. It's something free you can do that helps us with the algorithm, that helps other people find this madness. It genuinely does help. Of course, if you've enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe. Check out our YouTube channel where you can find the entire back catalogue of this podcast, but you can also find the back catalogue of our TV show, which is going to be back on air at some point. I think we're looking at now, I know previously we talked about February. I think we're going to look at March. I think we're going to come back around the time the Oscars is out. So we'll have a chat about that. Check the previous episodes for that, and you also are short little snippets of stuff that we've got. So as always, that's enough of me selling my wares this week. We'll have another episode out soon, but for now, thanks for listening and goodbye.
Bye.
Go team.